that the government believe that they are not on their side. But all these people are contributing to nation building.
Yes, Kojo. Yeah.
Something, you know, there is
the government shouldn't arrest people, shouldn't proceed to prosecute them because they are MPP.
Nobody's saying that. Nobody's saying that. Look, something. There is something that was said by one of the American presidents. He said that no person is above the law and no person is beneath its protection. Theodore Roosevelt, right? In a country where our liberties are supposed to be protected, we look to one institution or one pillar of society. That's why we had the three arms of government, the judiciary, to protect us. We know the executive will come in and use heavy-handedness if you say things they don't like. And look, the right to speak is not only being fought against in Ghana. Look at what's happening in America today, right? And they are 200 years old, and they are today. People are canceling Disney subscription and all that because they think that people are conniving with government. So the executive will always try to lean in a certain way. But when you look at that third arm of government, the judiciary, you sleep well because you know that when somebody trumps on your liberties, you can go to get redress from the courts. And for me, all legal people hold very one day sacred, which is a Martyrs' Day, right? 30th of June, that you guys have set aside and put those statues in front of the courts to remind us of tyranny.
Never again.
Never again, right? If it was to be in Tamkesier, you legal profession, you're in Tamkesier will be 30th June, right? What is happening? Today, I am not even sure that if I enter a court, the judge that sits there will give me the right bail or conditions.
Why?
Because a judge have sat in this country and said that animal farm, and I've heard you on your show talked about the ruling that was given by that judge. It might be one, but it's that one nut that spoils the bag of nuts.
I don't think this spoils the rest.
Well, that's fine, but it's possible.
The two lawyers
I'm not even a lawyer, but let me say this. The MPP is not saying that we are above the law. Rule of law, everybody's below. Nobody's above it. But if I have done something wrong and you call me in for an inquiry, let it be an inquiry. What we have seen, and it's become a trend, that people are called in and inquiry bails are now becoming as if the person is charged. We are all foul of one thing or the other. I mean, I'm not perfect. Something you might not be perfect. But we all know that one day we might err in saying something that will slip. When that person is called for investigation, let that person feel that the arrest is not your ultimate. The prosecution is your ultimate. We are beginning to pride ourselves on the arrest than the investigation and prosecution. What you say is not final. That's why there's a court. The defense and the prosecution will have to banter it out in that lovely courtroom, and the judge will now give a ruling. So when people are arbitrary, and that is why the demonstration went on, is the arbitrary exercise of powers, right? Where people feel that, yes, I am National Security Coordinator, I am Yoko Boss, I am this, I'm IGP, I'm prosecutor, I can now basically give you whatever bail conditions, and they are using that avenue to intimidate. Nobody has been sent to court. In fact, if you look at the people who have been charged to court, it's very minimal. The amount of people that have been called in for inquiry and the bail has become a problem. How many of them have been charged to court? So we are seeing a trend, and that is where the demonstration was saying that do not intimidate us.
Tell us, how many people, apart from Muntumi and Abronya, who had a little situation, who else?
Who else as in what?
Who else is it that has not been taken to court for the purposes of prosecution and they had difficulty with bail and you are complaining about?
It's not difficulty with bail. It is the type of bail being set. And maybe if one person might be, a lot of people, maybe they have the resources to be able to give these bails, but it only takes a few people to be able to now make it look like, look, let's not. The amount of people that are called to national security, my brother, apparently somebody tells us, when you go there, it's like a reunion of former, everybody is there. They are calling them on frivolous. And when you go there, like Abronya said in one of his videos, they are now telling you to now go and justify something somebody said. How? They don't have anything. They are asking you, it's like a conversation, and then when you are not careful, you say something, they'll go back and say, but you said this, let's dwell on this.
But that's investigated.
Well, that's fine. Well, that's fine. But I'm saying that
they will have the facts, but they will still ask you questions.
Nobody has a problem going. And a lot of people have been going. But the harassment of the Abronye and the Wound to me example is the very reason why we are saying that the freedom of speech exists.
And the harassment you say is about the bail condition.
That is what clearly is being used.
They have told you Wound to me was brought in, and the amount of money they are dealing with is what they use to determine the bail, just as any court does. So if you say the amount is too high, you are wrong, because they will normally look at if you are being charged for an offense in terms of a monetary offense and the money is about, say, $1 million, you don't expect that the judge will give you 500,000. Because in that case, there's incentive for you to run away.
Well, I agree, but that's why in this instance, there are so many mitigating factors that goes into when the court considers handing your passport and all those things that comes into it. Something, one of the things that I think the supermajority in Parliament, and we don't even know what they are using this for supermajority for. They've made so much noise about this supermajority. We think that, look, you will know that most of our laws is still NLC. Most of our laws is still AFRC. Most of our laws is...
Not most of them.
Some.
Yes.
Most of, especially in the criminal side, most of the enactments that were enacted in the, was it NLC?
Okay, so those are not in the majority. So for most of the people who are being dealt with now, they're using a 1960 law and primarily a 1960 law. 1960, right? Yes.
How old is that? 1960. And today, there's supermajority, and they're not looking at that law to change it too. In time, when we just post-colonial.
What did you do with ADS?
No, that's fine. But post-colonial days, right? When we had just come out of independence in 1957, a law that was enacted in 1960, in quote unquote, in Nkrumah's time CPP, when we are trying to have one-party state, right? The laws that exist then is what today, in the Fourth Republic, in the democratic dispensation, is being used to...
The laws on crime, have you found anything there that you say this is wrong in today, so we should change it?
Well, yes.
Causing financial loss to the state, all of those laws.
But that's new. Causing financial loss is new.
It's not new, really.
But it's before. Causing financial loss...
It's law.
Well, that's fine, but...
Before you will say, used it to popularize it.
Okay.
But it's not new.
Okay. So what I'm saying is that we need to change some of these things. If a law existed in 1960, in today, 80 years down the line, or 60 years down the line, I think it needs to be reviewed. And I think clearly the supermajority, it will be done to them. And one of my advice that I've been
giving... Your suggestion?
I am not saying that, but my brother, what I'm trying to explain is that in today, the NDC makes it very difficult. In every party, there are hawks and there are liberals, right? The hawks in NDC are making it very difficult that the liberals like us in MPP would have it difficult if one day MPP comes into power and certain things are being done and we don't agree. Because certain things that goes on now, whether it's MPP or NDC...
Explain to me that there is a SkyTrain situation. Millions of dollars are at stake, and the people involved are invited and they are put before a court. Is that harassment?
No.
That the finance minister, Kenneth Oriata, is said to have been involved in certain things that he needs to explain to the OSP. Then he's being, chased. Is that the harassment?
But that's not what. That's not what they talked about. If you listen to the people that were interviewed, what has necessitated the demonstration is all these young ones from social media, and you talked about it in your opening, right? Some of the submissions that you made in your opening about the laws that exist now that people, in terms of free speech, that they want to exercise on social media. Just to an extent, I agree with some of the things that people can just hide behind social media and say certain things and defame people. There should be checks and balances, but it is being aggravated and being used to an extent. That is why the demonstration, which is our right to go to the street and let the authorities know enough is enough.
Did you say it's being aggravated?
Being aggravated, as in is more often now than it used to be.
That's not true.
In terms of
that's not
how
true.
many social media people have been arrested in the last 15 years? Tell me, I'm listening. If these, in your own presentation, you gave a certain number of people who have now been prosecuted. How many of them in the last?
Those I gave, they are not now.
They are not now, nothing.
Yeah. The Mohammed, the Sotom guy who threatened on social media, he said the IGP, was recruiting some people and they were going to use them to kill people in the elections.
What date was that? What year was that?
I'm talking about, this is before the elections.
Right.
And he was put before court.
Right.
And eventually sentenced to 4 years in jail. So he's in the cooler.
Right.
This was within the MPP free.
Yes.
Before that, this law had been used against a Connect FM gentleman. It had been used against this Thompson guy, Asepa. It had been used against Bobie.
Asepa was jailed. He was taken to court by no jail.
Exactly. He was arrested.
Arrested, yes.
They were detained, really. Captain Smart, it was used against him. This guy on WhatsApp, they call it WhatsApp News or something, it was used against him. I've counted 5. Okay. Within a short time within the MPP regime.
Okay, is that right? It's not, is it? Yes, we are both saying the same thing.
No, I haven't said it's not right.
But you said it's not, because in your opinion,
no, I have not said it's not right.
Okay, so you think it's okay?
I've not said it's not right.
Thank you, but you're saying it's not okay.
I haven't said
whether
so
it was
either.
done within MPP or done now, what the youth of the MPP is saying is that, look, and I could add my voice to it, is that let's look at that contest and put it right. If it was harassment then, it's not right. If it's wrong then, it's not right. It's not right now. So it's wrong then, it's wrong now. Whoever is using a 1960 law to go after people who are exercising free speech in whatever contest is being done, what we are drawing attention to is that, look, let's change what is happening in this country. Because if we don't change it, the trajectory we are on will be that, yes, you've counted 5 in MPP. We are continuing to count in under NDC. When is it going to stop? That's the problem. I'm not holding brief for people that were arrested trying to exercise free speech under NPP. I'm not holding brief for people who are exercising free speech and being arrested now under authority. I'm not holding brief for them. But the point is, something needs to be done, and that is why
that's the harassment.
That is what the MPP youth is drawing attention to. That, look, yes, it was happening before. People were not happy with it. It's happening now. Let's draw attention to.
You endorse such commentary by those people who get arrested?
That what? No, I don't endorse it. You see, let's not make it.
If you don't endorse it, how should it be checked?
They should take him to court and let a court of competent jurisdiction deal with it.
Who has been arrested and not taken to court?
Well, Abronia has been arrested, never not taken to court and prosecuted.
It was court that granted
him. No, it was the bail. Yes, but he hasn't been charged. He hasn't been charged with that.
He has been charged, 2 counts.
And he's going to go to court?
He's been to court and been granted bail.
No, but the point when he was being held, you see, that's the difference. I mean, and I'm something a lawyer. The difference when he was being held,
it was a court that was denying him bail.
Thank you, but he hasn't. If they have charged him, it's a misdemeanor. The court cannot charge you with a misdemeanor. You plead guilty or not guilty and be denied bail.
Thousands of people who do not have a name like Abronia,
yes,
get detained every day in our court over misdemeanors
and don't get bail.
They don't have a party to come and support them.
Is it right? That is why the MPP youth were out there saying that, look, let's stop this. Okay. That is why the demonstration was not just for us. The question
you are being asked now is that, since when did you realize that this was harassment?
Well, look, whether it was yesterday or today, the most important thing is that it needs to stop.
Okay.
And that's the most important thing. And for me, I think that the supermajority in NDC should use it to change some of these laws so that we can all leave and let's leave.
Okay. Yes, Vicky.